Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going into some information about the cannery, so let's crack on with it. So jumping right into this, we're going to be heading into the duchessflame.com website, where there has been some data mining done on the cannery and some of the information of what this thing actually does. Now this is a unique new workstation that we'll be able to put into our camps, so let's get into some of this information. First of all, the function and output of this station. This generates the cannery has two functions built into one workbench. First, you can craft clean cans using base components. Then, once you've made the fresh version of a food item at a cooking station, bring it to the cannery along with a clean can to create the canned version. And then you can also build this in shelters, which is pretty sweet. So you can have a whole food operation inside of a shelter. You can how to obtain. So this is going to be obtainable through the season pass, season 21 Gone Fishing, page 8, and it's going to require 60 tickets. You'll also be able to get it through gold bullions in the future for we don't know how much yet, but apparently that's in the works. And then the crafting requirements for the station itself, it's going to require 8 aluminium, 5 gears, 7 oil, 4 springs, and 4 screws. Now here's the important thing: if this thing actually does do the canned food for us, is creating the clean cans, and that's going to require 2 aluminium per, 2 antiseptics, 3 copper, which is going to be a pretty important one for a lot of people, and then also 3 steel. Now the build rules for this thing, at least in the data mined information, is it's found under the crafting in camp build menu. Obviously you can build up to 40 of these in a camp, and build limit per workshop is 20. And then shares build limit with other crafting workbenches as well. So this is obviously going to be in the crafting section, I'm going to guess, with all the other workbenches. This requires no power, which is lovely, and it's going to cost you 2 flamingo units, so camp points, in your budget to place one of these. Just a good thing to take note of. So some notes: the following dishes can be canned on the cannery workbench, that being aged Mirelurk Queen steak, awesome opossum bacon, cranberry relish, which is a pretty important one, corn soup, which for me is an important one, fish chowder, glowing fungus puree, glowing fungus soup, grilled fish, gourd soup, gut shroom soup, mega sloth mushroom soup, Mirelurk Queen steak. We have poached angler, rad scorpion steak, ribeye steak, sting wing stew, sweet potato stew, swamp tofu soup. We've got tasty squirrel stew and vegetable medley soup. It doesn't look like cranberry relish is set up right in the game file, so it may or may not work when patch 60 is released. And that also includes that we don't see any brain bombs in here as well. So not some of the important recipes aren't in here, as well as just, you know, a few others. So just bear that in mind. They might be getting added later on. They might come out and release. We just don't know that information yet. So take this with a grain of salt. And then the super duper perk does not work when crafting canned food at the cannery workbench. So that's obviously another important thing. You can't double your goods, which would be kind of funny, because you might be able to double your dishes and then double the amount of canned food you have, which will be pretty interesting. And then here's some pictures of the cannery here for us to gaze upon. So there's a couple of concerns that people might have with this, and we don't have the full information. Obviously this is data mined, so there are a few sketchy bits of information that we have, patchy notes. For example, we don't know the exact weight of the cans themselves. We just know that the cans will have a decent amount of weight to them, as well as an increase in cost per food item, as you're going to have to can them. And so that is a definite concern for certain people, as you're going to be investing more resources and consuming more of your weight on your character, when you could, for example, use the cryo fridge. Or another good example is using good with salt, which is something I always have on every single build. Maxed out 3-star good with salt, as that reduces the durability loss on food by 90%, which is pretty significant. Now, with the cryo fridge, there is actually a new cryo fridge that been data mined that potentially will be coming, and that is the fishing cooler cryo freezer. And this should act like the one that we had in previous season, and this will basically keep your foods at 100%, and it will use your camp storage. So definitely something to keep note of, and if you're looking to try and get a hold of this, that will be available in the next season. Another thing with the cannery, or canned food I should say, is this is definitely a good thing, is people are actually going to be able to sell their food because canned food doesn't spoil. So if you've got some if you like to cook and you like to try and, you know, keep your camp stocked with various different goods, another thing could be buff foods for certain people, and you can even potentially make a store. We might even see food stalls being set up by players where they're going to be offering canned foods and buffs for people to go and purchase, hopefully at a decent price. And that's going to conclude this video. I hope you guys found it informative, and I hope it helped you guys out. This is definitely a pretty interesting new station, and I think is a definite welcome thing to Fallout 76. And I like that they're trying to tackle the food durability loss situation in various different ways, with the cryo fridge, which we're going to be able to get a new one, and the new workstation, the cannery. Let me know in the comments down below what you all think about this. Either way, cheers all for joining me, thanks all for watching, and I'll catch you all on the next one.